All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Very excited to spend a little bit of time with you here, and we're going to talk about Eventsforce and integration here with CRM. And to get things rolling, my name is Chris George. I'm a senior product or advisor here at SimpleView on the product marketing team. Been with the SimpleView for about 18 years now, different roles along the way. Got the chance to train a lot of you guys, or hopefully we'll get the chance to work with you on that side in the future. And Kate, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for hopping on and joining us today. My name is Kate Scheck. I'm Director of U.S. Sales for Eventsforce, and very excited to be here. I've been with the company for a little over 7 months now, so excited to get started here today.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about Eventsforce. This is a company that SimpleView, acquired a few years back. Been doing a lot of work to get some features rolling for you guys on a couple of different ends. And, again, good company powered by SimpleView. And this is a tool that's going to give you the opportunity to really manage your events, conferences, convention side, and also your local DMO sponsored events from start to finish. And Kate, why don't you tell us a little bit about the product, the team, the company?
Yeah, absolutely. So long story short, we bought Eventsforce for you. We heard you. We read your emails. We spoke with you in focus groups, and we realized that RSVP needed an upgrade. So we bought a whole company just for you. We purchased Eventsforce to provide event management platform items and the ability to create event websites, event apps, badge printing, contactless check-in for your events, registration management, the ability to send invites, follow-ups, groups and ticketing. So the ability to purchase different types of tickets within one event, or have someone purchase a group of tickets and make it very user-friendly for both your attendees and yourself as an admin user. We also have a very robust reporting platform as well.
So a lot of this stuff are things that you may have done at some level using your CRM events registration management group. But again, we're going to talk about how we're taking that to a whole nother level here today. And then in addition to that, there's some things that we're not going to talk about here today. We'll focus a little bit deeper on these later on. But what are some of the other things that Eventsforce can do for a destination?
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to having our CRM connect with Eventsforce to help you manage your events by registration, we also have add-on opportunities. So say your event is now hybrid and you're looking to have a virtual content delivery site and also a mobile app, right? The idea behind hosting an event nowadays is how do we make everybody feel connected and engaged? And our platform will allow you to do that with a hybrid route, allowing those folks sitting at home to be engaged alongside those utilizing a mobile app on site. We also provide opportunities to enhance your keynote presentations by collecting abstracts or call for papers. We provide an awards platform that's connected to your registration as well. And I already spoke about the mobile app.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about these things as we go, but it's really everything you might need to provide a quality experience for an event, depending on, it doesn't really matter what type of event it is. But let's jump in and really talk specifically now about the group and ticketing function of Eventsforce and how that integrates with CRM to really make everything easier on both ends, meaning that for the delivery of your emails, your invites, but really to provide a better experience for the person who might be registering for that event. So some of you guys out there, you might be familiar with our CRM RSVP tool, and it served a great purpose and it did its job. It gave you the opportunity to build an online area where people could go online. They were usually members or partners. They could register for events, select from different ticketing options. You could send the invites through the system. You could then track all those things back to understand how much money you were spending on an event, where that money was spent. Then again, under the benefits summary tab, you could see a list of partners who you invited to an event and were they participating. So you had some good reporting on that other end. So again, it did a good job, gave you an opportunity to send out invites, track RSVPs. That was its sole purpose, but it definitely had its limitations. And the integration with Eventsforce, again, is going to help take all those things we talked about to another level, make it easier on you, make it easier for the end user. But then we're going to talk about the additional features. Eventsforce is going to give us the opportunity to have more control over the design, the layout of the actual website itself. So when you click, or the user clicks here to go to that event to register, you're going to be able to provide a great experience. You're going to be able to brand that in different ways, whether that's to the client or to your own destination. You're going to be able to add pages in, and we're going to walk through some of these features here today. Makes it easier for you to judge or manage your granular costs. So different cost options based on who that person might be. So we can have these different categories and install different booker journeys. So different discount codes, different ticket opportunities or options available, whether you're a vendor or a VIP, early bird options. Again, some of those things we struggled a little bit with here in RSVP. Discount codes, being able to create badges through the system with QR codes. So what we're really talking about is not just RSVP registration. You again might use a lot of those additional features for a local business event, but we're also going to talk about a second use case, and that's using it for conferences or getting involved with your meeting planner, maybe providing a service to that meeting planner to bring somebody into your destination. So again, we're going to talk about these things in two different ways. Last time, but the one you're probably the most familiar with, most are using our system here today, is when your destination is holding those usual membership or partnership events, things like a director of sales meeting, an extranet training. You might be holding your annual event every year where you want to send invites to different lists of local businesses. You might want to target your directors of sales for that meeting. You might want to target all of your dues paying members or your listed partners for the annual meeting. You want them, again, to send out invites. You want to manage and understand, did they register? Did they pay? Or did they purchase different options? They might have purchased a different food option or a table rather than an individual seat. So again, you had all that great ability, pretty simple website. You were sending out those invites to folks and letting them register, and then you're tracking all those details back inside of your system. So for that event, pretty simple. We're going to do the same type of a thing, but we're again going to add in some different features. But with this version, what we're going to do is we're going to build the event first in Eventsforce, so we can use all those great design elements, be able to build a more detailed schedule, some of those great things. We're then going to sync it with an event in CRM. We're going to build our list of people in CRM, then pass that over to Eventsforce for our invites and all of that type of management. And then some data is going to flow back into CRM. So really, like with everything and other integrations you may have with us, your CRM is your central source of data, your central source of reporting for things like your relationships with your membership team or with your local businesses. Eventsforce is the tool that facilitates all of those things, but you still get the data and you're still going to use your CRM data to kind of support those. The second example we're going to speak to is really, it's a big one, and this improves on why your destination might want to use event registration management software, including all that stuff Kate showed earlier on. And again, we'll get some time to talk a little bit more about. But primarily, event management software is built to assist your destination with providing a great experience for conference or event attendees. So think about the process you may have gone through if you registered for anything, over the past few years, a conference you might have attended professionally or something you might have attended for fun. And I've been using this example a lot, but I got the opportunity to attend Fan Fusion. It's kind of like the Comic-Con here in Arizona a few weeks ago. My younger brother took a couple of our nephews, and the event was marketed. There was a website we went to where we learned more about this giant event that was taking place and huge schedule events, all that stuff. We went in, we then had options to purchase tickets. We could purchase different options with those tickets. Like we could go and do the meet and greet or just have the standard ticket. I think there was a different ticket price or a different little option there to go to the Baby Yoda after party, which we went to as well. But we were able to review, learn a bunch of stuff through a really easy experience, a great website design, and good content. We were able to register. Then there were links to things like the hotel. They might have secured some group housing. There were links to different options, how to get there, those types of things. So many of us have gone through the same type of thing, and as a user, it was seamless. So think about if your destination had the opportunity to offer that up to a meeting planner as either a service to entice them into the destination or as a way to work together to grow out revenue and to grow out attendance. With that type of an opportunity, the DMO could manage the entire process for a meeting planner and say, hey, you bring your event into our destination. We know that you usually have to contract with somebody else who doesn't have a lot of the data, that we might have to power the thing. That can sometimes be pretty costly for a meeting planner. It can be somewhat confusing. They sometimes are using old systems. And in any of those cases, they aren't integrated and the meeting planner has to do it on their own. With this option, this makes it really easy for your team to build events, to repeat building these events over and over again. Talk a little bit more about how we can clone them as we go. So you're able to say to that meeting planner, hey, how about we take that on? And what you're able to do in a lot of those cases is then you can assist with the marketing, providing a great experience. So what a great option for your services team. I think the whole goal there is to make sure the event goes off without a hitch, encourage those folks to bring the event back to your destination again, maybe even plan a vacation in the area because they had such a great experience. This process, the website, I think has such a big piece of that again, it's a great option for a meeting planner. It takes it off their hands, provides better experience. Then for you on your end, it's also a way for your destination to make some additional revenue. It's all again about growing the revenue out for the meeting planner. But what we see in a lot of destinations is that it's contracted in to where you get a percentage of every ticket sold or something like that. So that way, again, the planner's making some more money and the destination's making some additional revenue on top of that. We're also hearing about the opportunity for DMOs to offer it out to a planner saying, hey, we have a great set of tools that you can use to manage this if you bring it into our destination. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right, Kate? It's easy to use. We're going to be able to use them for either of those examples. But what we're going to do is we're going to start in Eventsforce and we're going to build the event, because it doesn't matter which example we're building. We have to have a page or a section, a microsite, I guess you can call it, where the potential registrant is going to go to learn more about the event and register. Then we will talk about the second process, which is sending a specific list of people and moving on from there. So yeah, in either case, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Eventsforce. And, the first thing I always like to point out in here is you do have some great training documentation in the bottom right corner. I've been spending a lot of time in this section. Great experience there to be able to get what you need. Also, we will see release notes. Kate mentioned this, but just like within all of our Simple View products, we listen, we learn, we try to make them better. And we very recently, these release notes just came out this week which I just learned about, the favicon, right, Kate? That's a new one that people are talking about.
Yeah, it's the little icon on the top tab. If you want to hover over it, that's exactly it. And now we have an easy way to go ahead and put whatever you'd like up there instead of having to email anybody about it. You'll have the ability to go ahead and add in whatever logo you'd like for that website. Chris also mentioned, I wanted to add in before we dive in, every event should have a website. I mean, obviously. Now we can have a microsite like pictured right here. We can also embed it into your event site that you already have, right? So a lot of you might already have a calendar or a website page and you'd like to embed this in, you simply can do that as well. And it's very, very simple to do so. And I'm gonna, at that point, leave it to Chris.
Sure. So yeah, we're basically talking about dropping something like this into a page for the user experience, the registration. And then what we're gonna see, in Eventsforce is we're not only building this page out with these different options, pricing options, including those things like discount codes, a booker journey, all that great stuff. We're also able to build out a nice schedule of events. And this is great, pre-formatted, fill in the blanks, let it fill this stuff in, nice and easy to use with great filters available. So we will then also, and don't make fun of the site too bad. It took just a little bit of time to build us an example, but the tools are really easy for you to use to, again, be able to provide the entire experience. And it all starts here in Eventsforce. And said it early on, one of the great benefits of this is to be able to reuse content over and over. You might have a bit of a template that you use. You might have a monthly event that you want to, just clone, as we call it, every time. And that's right up here. Am I right? Yep. We can start by finding an existing event and then just duplicating that. So next year, the show comes back, duplicate it, change out some content, change out some headers and those types of things, and you're well on your way. But for today's event, the first thing we're going to see is I built a little bit of a foundation. You're going to have a list of all of your events here, so you can quickly access to manage, any of those, catch back up on anything, or clone an event you were previously working on. I'm building this gala. There's a bit of the preview. So as we're building things out, you can kind of see where you stand. And the first thing you're going to see is, like in our CRM, some reporting. We'll touch more on this as we get further on, because this is a brand new event. I haven't sent out any invites or anything. There's really not a lot to report off of. But the first step you're going to do is you're going to start building out the foundation of the event. So when we come under properties, we're indicating it, and I'm not going to walk through every single field. We will have, again, great training documentation available to you. We want to highlight the big stuff, but we're basically setting it up, creating it, making it live, choosing to include, if I come down here, it in the CRM integration, which we're going to talk more about in that second example. But we're just, again, entering times, dates. This is where we start to see the opportunity for some of our different booker options. And Kate, can you tell us a little bit more about what it means for these multiple attendees?
Yeah, absolutely. So we found that a lot of folks lack registration or wait to the last minute because they don't have the opportunity. They have to put in a bunch of information for other people, right? So if I'm Kate Shack, Director of Sales, and I want to register 3 of my account managers to attend this annual gala. Now, I don't know if my 3 managers are vegetarian. I don't know much about them as far as what their preferences are, what t-shirt size they are. So we really did a lot of research on how to help the registration move quicker and gain revenue faster and not hold up the registration process. And this is exactly what we're sitting on right now. So registration settings, you can choose based on your event how you would like your registration to flow. Do you want everyone to register themselves and themselves only? Then you're going to click no, right? So the question is allow multiple attendees and a registration. No, you want Kate Shack, Director of Sales, to register herself and herself only. Now, if you're up for it and you want Kate Shack, Director of Sales, to register multiple people, so all 3 of her account managers, you're going to click yes. And how do you want her to do that? Do you want her to fill out all of the information for all 3 of her account managers? Then you're just going to click yes and unclick that little check mark. Now, if you read into that little check mark, it says allow attendees to enter their own details. This allows the Kate Shack to buy, as the booker, to buy the tickets to the gala, and then invite her account managers to fill out their own registration information, what they'd like to eat at the gala, what t-shirt size they want. So it's a way to customize your registration journey based on your event. And that's something we didn't offer with RSVP or our previous model of registration. So really unique to the market. Not everybody does this. I would say we're about the only one. I just attended a trade show, Chris, and I kind of surveyed a few other event registration platforms, and we are the only one in the market right now that offers this.
Yeah, I love it. I know there's 30 of us going to DI coming up pretty soon. And I know one person did the registration for all of it. And I'm sure she would have liked to have said, hey, you figure this out on your own instead of asking us a bunch of questions, make life a little bit easier. So we see down here an event banner. We see that up here, something we'll talk more about in a little while, but just to keep in mind the event ID. This is how we're going to sync and create that tie between an event in CRM and this event here in Eventsforce. But basically, we're just building the foundation of the event and then deciding really, some of those highlights, how we should handle registration. After we've created the properties there, well, I'm going to move over and start talking a little bit about creating the tickets or what are called the different options that are available on that registration page. And as we can see, I've created a few different options. This conference, kind of like our summit that we held, there's different options available, people, including different pre-conference sessions. So as we're coming in, what I'm going to do is add or edit an existing ticket. We're able to give it a name. We're able to set things like the availability period. So for that early bird option, it can automatically come up and come down at a certain date. You've got this direct click to book link. So if you send somebody that link, they have the direct link to that ticket option. But here, that's where we also have a bit of that ticket journey. Right on the side here, I can quickly come over and create different attendee categories that we can then tie to an actual ticket option to really start to create, what should that specific type of a person have the opportunity to register for. So through that, we'll see here that we can create individual tickets. We also have the opportunity, as we're adding in new, to create different items like for t-shirts, those types of things. So giving them those options, or to package those types of things together. So again, we can create different categories for things like VIP, vendor, actual partners. So that way they'd have different journeys kind of along the way. I think those click to book links help quite a bit as they're going out. So that'll direct again from that link to a direct ticket. So they're saying specifically, here's your ticket that you can register for. You can enter the minimum and maximum, some capacity information, the pricing in there, and again, those different pricing options. Now, I plan to come back to this in just a little bit, but if we come back underneath setup and under financial, we also see discounts. I mentioned it, so I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way through. A great improvement over our current system is that you are able to offer discount codes, and they are this easy. You add in a discount code, you give it a name, and you can, again, call it whatever you want. Give it a discount code, and then you can choose, well, should this ticket be reduced by a certain percentage or a certain dollar amount? And then during that registration process, they have the option to enter in that coupon code and see that tallied right there, like we see, through other systems. So you're aware of that action taking place before you actually book the ticket. So there's still more work to do. If I come back here, we also have the opportunity to build out the agenda, including adding in different speakers. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But I wanted to first kind of finish off the design elements. How do we really, again, provide a nice, attractive experience? If you are possibly branding this on behalf of a client, this is a conference that's coming to your town. Well, again, what's really cool about it is if you come under the website and content section, we're going to have the opportunity to update each page, including the header, the footer, and all the details in between. So what it takes me to first is the actual registration page. We're picking and choosing the questions that should be asked, the order they should be asked in. We're able to add in additional questions, remove old. We see some simple updates that we can make, for example, to the color scheme, to the fonts. So to keep with that client's brand elements or brand, package. But here we see each page. So like we mentioned, we have the opportunity to use basically a little CMS to add additional pages or to continue updating the content on each page. So as an example, I created the homepage, again, really quick. When I was creating the homepage, I just had the opportunity to come and use WYSIWYG editors to drop in images, videos, all that great stuff, get that formatting right. We can navigate or update the menu. So the navigation pretty quickly. I can add a banner into that area, or we can simply move navigation, add in additional navigation, giving me the opportunity then to come over here and add in or update an additional page. So for example, I added in the getting here page, around here page, and all really easy to use. So the CMS is about as easy as it gets, but you do have the opportunity to keep, again, those brand elements in place. And I think that goes a pretty long way.
Hey, Chris, would you do me a favor and click on to attendee details for me?
Attendee details over here.
Here,
This
on
one.
the
Yep.
top. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. I think also too, when you're registering for an event, the end user meeting planner also wants to know a little bit about you. How many years have you been attending this event? For data collection, right? So if you scroll down, Chris, you can see kind of other options you can add. All of these questions are customizable for this event, okay? So as a meeting planner, as the end user of this, you can go in and create any questions you'd like. There's no limitation to how many questions. And we also have linked questions, so data branching. So if then that. We also have the ability to add different questions for different ticket journeys, right? So if I'm a VIP and you want to know whether I would like to golf, spa, or pool day, you're going to ask me that question. But as a general attendee, I'm not getting those perks. So I'm going to have a different ticket journey than a VIP. So this system allows you really to customize the ticket journey based on your attendee with an easy to use, friendly environment to go ahead and just customize based on what you'd like for this event. Now you're putting in all this work. Just a quick reminder, and Chris already mentioned this, you can duplicate. So if I'm putting in 100 questions for this attendee, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just duplicate this event for next year. So I just wanted to highlight kind of different ticket journeys and how you can customize those for each event.
No, I think, and that's a really cool point to make, because it is about the data. And that's something, again, where we'll see a little bit later on, but it makes a lot of sense here because the meeting planner and you will have access to this content. So that means in real time, the meeting planner is aware of this information. They're able to use it as in their planning and their organizing of the event. On the other side, as people register, that information will be passed into your CRM system to be used for reporting. Now, that's not to be used to market to them because those folks are registering for an event. They aren't registering for your newsletter. Now, there's other things to talk about along those lines. But your destination may want to start reporting off of things like where and how far are these people coming in from? Start to use some of that zip code analytics and some of that information for your reporting. So yeah, just like Kate says, all this information, you have the opportunity to pick and choose. There's different journeys along the way. Then the planner and you have access to the data in real time to be able to make adjustments based off of what people are signing up and what they're talking about. So that's where a lot of the power comes in here. And again, we can definitely spend more time. You can also import your own custom styles in here. So definitely, some additional features we can talk more about in a one-on-one demo. And, kind of just finishing that part up, let's finish up and take a look at underneath website. We've got the settings in there, just looking at things for those folks who may be, either domestic or international to make sure the date format, those things are working for you there. But where we want to go
from embedding is also right there as well.
There you go. You mentioned it. And there you go. We got this guy. There it is.
Perfect.
So we're just able to copy it and it grabs it right there.
Easy peasy.
But now, kind of finishing up again, trying to provide that great, easy experience for a conference or a potential attendee to a conference or one of your local events, we can talk about building out that great schedule. So just like anything, really easy to use. This is basically, data working for you. So you fill in the blanks, it populates to an attractive looking place. You're building out these session details as you go. Basically naming them, you can categorize them, entering in days, start time, end time, all those things you would normally expect to see on a schedule. You can enter in things like a live video. You can also select from presenters. And presenters, you can add a little bit of information about those presenters underneath the program section and under the presenters tab, where we can add in different options. UI's always one of my favorites. So you can come in here, give them a title, and then all this information can be available on the schedule or when people are floating around the conference room floor looking at it through their app. And as we then see, that populates the agenda, filling in the blanks as we go, color-coded based on the categories selected and all of those good things. So from there, we are kind of off and running. We've spent some time now really building out the event. We took a look at how we could really provide that great experience. Again, thinking about the end user. And when I think about this tool set, I'm really, again, I might have said it, but think about it in 3 ways. One, first off, trying to make it best for the conference attendee, the event attendee, providing a great experience, provides a great service, keeps people happy, gets their survey results up, hopefully gets them to spend more money in your destination coming back, provides a great tool set for the meeting planner to either use on their own or to lean on you to use, giving them the opportunity to provide a great experience. So it ups hopefully their registration, attendance, and their numbers. For you guys, easy to use, easy to reuse, easy to resell to your potential clients. And then again, from that local business perspective, giving you the opportunity to have all the great tracking that you had before. So we saw that, again, gave that great booker journey. So based on those categories, providing a different experience. Again, that user can pull up agendas, see speaker information, bios. We can use discount early bird rates and access additional content. We're able to have a lot more branding opportunities. And I think that's a big one that I don't speak about enough. And then what we're going to see there is the integration with CRM is that last piece that makes it easy for you. So really, that's how you create an event itself. And that works for either use case. Again, for a local business event, a local partnership event, or for a conference or something along those lines. The page is built. So now we can provide this link out to the meeting planner. We can start marketing this microsite through our own channels to really try to boost attendance and get more eyeballs on this registration page. So we're set and running. But for that second example, those people are going to register. They need to be invited. And that's where your CRM takes place. Then we want to kind of track their journey in CRM and see some of the reporting that comes back with that. So for that second step, and we'll use your annual partner meeting as an example, we have built the event. Now we're going to go into CRM and we're going to build an event. We'll walk through this quickly live, but you're going to have a new user group that looks very similar to your RSVP group, where you're going to create a new event. And then we mentioned it early on, you're going to add in that Eventsforce ID. And once you do that, you see some grayed out fields. That's pulling information in from Eventsforce. And if it gets updated in Eventsforce, it gets updated or synced back into CRM. You can add in additional information like we see further down the event location, because you might want to track that back to the partner's benefit summary record. So once it's been synced, it pulls in that data. You can't edit it in CRM, but you can edit it in an Eventsforce, and you can add in additional information for reporting and tracking. You're then going to go down below and you're going to pull in a list of people you want to invite. And you can do that by either adding in people one by one or using the advanced search module, which we'll see in just 1 second, to, for example, say, I want to first invite all my hotel general managers. Then I want to invite my directors of sales. Maybe they have different ticket options, something along those lines. We do that because we want to see the tracking underneath, again, the benefit summary tab. I want to tell the partner, hey, we invited you, you did or you did not attend. And then those numbers or those attendees are automatically updated to being attended equals yes, if that happens on the Eventsforce website. So let's just take a look. So the idea is, first off, again, a new user group called Events and Ticketing. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come in to create a new event, and we're going to add in that Eventsforce ID, which one more time we're taking right off of the event properties page. And
it's also at the top left corner, Chris, next to,
oh, there it is. I knew it was somewhere else.
There it is. Yeah.
All right. So we just drop that right in. And what's going to happen in that example is you then see everything all grayed out. Now, from there, your event is set. You want to pull in a list of people that you want to then invite. And what we're doing is we're just pulling in people from your central data location, your CRM, pushing them up to Eventsforce so that you're sending out the invites and all that good stuff from there. If you come down below an event, and in my example, and kind of hit two or accomplish two with one stroke here, hopefully. In this example, I had already invited a list of people. Now I'm inviting that second list of people. So when I come down below, it's a synced event. And yeah, we see some folks that have already been invited, but nobody has RSVP'd just yet. I can come in and add an additional people, either one by searching my CRM by name, by account. Or the most common method is to use your advanced search module to build lists of people in mass. Not going to spend a lot of time here. If you need training on this, we can definitely help you out. You might have pre-built lists like we're seeing in my example, or you might want to go in and build lists based off of different information. I only want to see people who have a certain tag, title, etc. It pulls in a list of those folks. I hit select all to pull them all in. And now I just come in under Eventsforce under the people tab to the invitation list, where first I would see all the people that were in there before. I'm on a different one now. So I got to jump. Let me make sure one thing. Yep, I'm on the right one. So this should work. Actually, no, I got to change. Sorry, one thing. I had a little issue with this earlier. So when we do that, we come under people invitation list, and we'll see those that already exist. And then underneath this little plus tab, we have the opportunity to import the original list or a new list from CRM. Just says, are you sure you want to do that? We hit yes, and it brings those folks in, and we have an updated list. But we might have to do some cleanup. There's potential that we imported the same person twice. So we do have the opportunity to come over here and do a bit of a duplicate check before we actually come through to send out our invites. And before we send out our invites, we also have the opportunity underneath the email tab to update or to manage the different email templates themselves. Maybe I want to create a thank you template. I want to create something unique for this event. Well, we have the opportunity to create as many different templates as you might like, again, using a standard WYSIWYG editor with the opportunity to use tags to pull content in. So it can say like, dear Chris, dear Kate, just like you've probably used to with your current CRM templates. But you're managing all of those templates and campaigns through Eventsforce. And then you're sending your invites out through the system here. So we're able to cherry pick or pull in everybody. Then we're able to pick and choose, and we're able to then send out the different invites from here. So what's nice is the invites are getting sent out through Eventsforce. Those folks are then being directed to the page to register and to learn more. And as they're RSVPing for those events, what's going to happen is it's going to track both underneath the event and now underneath their corresponding member partner record. But before I go to that member partner record, I want to talk about one more reporting method or tool that takes place on this end. Many times we want to track the money we're spending putting together these events, supporting these events, the donations or in-kinds that our partners are making to help us support these events. We can still track those directly underneath the event in CRM and also tie that back to the member partner record saying the destination spent money at this local business. So we're still managing some of the things in CRM that we tracked before. The money spent on the event, the location of the event, then via the integration, that tracking back to the actual attendee portion of the event. So if I come back underneath an event here, a account in the member partner user group. First off, if I come down below the benefits summary tab into the events tab, we now see a list of every event that this organization was invited to, how many people from this organization were invited. And if we come down underneath an individual, I might not have the right person here, but we all get the idea. There is also an events tab here where we can see a list of every event that this individual was invited to and whether or not they actually registered. And then in addition to that, underneath the benefits summary tab, we also again see the in-kind and expenses that were tied to this local business. And we would also see the event location here because that was entered in as well. So from that side, again, we have the opportunity to build the event. So it provides a great experience, but we're then pulling in the people from your CRM because that's where you keep track of all those business relationships. We're sending them over basically through the integration to Eventsforce, where the folks from there can then log in. They're able to, quickly then get the invites. They are able to register for the event, and that information then gets tracked back into your system underneath the benefits summary tab, including the in-kind and expenses that are getting entered and the event location. And then really to round it out from there, we see some basic reporting that's coming out of the Eventsforce side. So we can quickly see those that were invited, not invited, registered. We're able to see revenue where that stands and registration stands over time. So what are hopefully some great tools to keep not only the meeting planner or your team on the membership side aware of how much money we're making, or we might need to boost marketing. If things aren't going as well, it might be time to send out another notification. It might be time to get more content out there to drive more folks into this, into this specific event. So, those are really, those are the big features that kind of cover, the system and the integration itself. But Kate, why don't we talk a little bit more about those features that now focus on the event, the conference itself?
You got it. So if any of you attended our SimpleView Summit, you've already utilized almost all of these enhancements. You utilized our registration platform to register, utilized our website template to look at the agenda, book those additional CRM sessions. You also utilized our on-site badge check-in and badge printing service as well. So a lot of these are not new to any of you. You've already experienced them firsthand. So hybrid is going to be an opportunity, like I said, to allow your customers and your attendees to feel as though whether they're on their couch watching or they're actually standing and sitting inside of a ballroom and listening, to engage and be a part of a meeting in full. So hybrid will deliver exceptional hybrid experiences with intelligent tools that manage all your virtual and on-site attendees on one platform. You'll have a registration platform. You'll have that website template, the ability to invite and email attendees. You'll have a mobile app, and you also have a virtual content delivery system that will sit on a desktop as well. So we offer that as a full package product. We also have our virtual, create the online experience for your attendees, engage your sponsors and exhibitors. It's a very quick setup. And you can save time managing your remote speakers as well. We also offer, in addition to a virtual site, is online polls and surveys, audience response. So anybody who wants to add a question in there, it'll be a live question. People can bump those questions as they're viewing to maybe push that question to the tippy top if you have the same question. We also have gamification. So trivia games, whether they're individual or joint as well.
Liven it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Abstracts is kind of a unique word, but it's also known as call for papers. So those folks in the medical or scientific field, they're looking to collect papers for keynotes and workshop. So maybe you had a really interesting topic and wanted to speak at Simple View Summit. If we had abstracts set up, you would submit your abstract, your research, and we have a system that allows us to be a judge, also have you submit, and also connect that abstract as a presenter in our system, and it all connects together. So very easy, cool thing.
Yeah, very cool.
Awards, we also have the ability, like submit papers or call for papers or abstracts. We can also do awards as well. So should that person, we can judge the process, we can take payments and invoicing, and also award that person.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, we're seeing a lot of, I think it's kind of award season, I guess we just kind of went through.
It
so
is, yeah.
Opportunity to use these things next time around.
And your mobile app. I mean, you can't have an event nowadays without a mobile app. I'm sure FabCon or what did you say, Chris, that you attended?
FanFusion.
FanFusion. I bet honestly,
yeah.
if you wanted to enhance your event, you downloaded the FanFusion app, and it would direct you on where to go, what time to be at certain sessions. Maybe if you wanted to connect with other folks attending that convention, you'd be able to do that. So we have fully branded white label event apps, as well as our native app. You can personalize agendas and calendar syncing, push notifications. Hey, it's time for lunch. Meet us in the Sunrise Ballroom. Like I said before, live polling and surveys. So that is also available on your mobile app, as well as a virtual content delivery platform.
All right, very cool. So like we said, everything you need really from the ground up. While we definitely have those RSVP tools inherent in the new system, it is, again, I think, taking it to a whole nother level and maybe giving your destination an opportunity to use the tool set in a different way to provide a better experience or to improve on the experience, to help draw additional attendees, help generate a little bit of additional revenue, and again, provide a better experience for those local folks who may be registering for event. And I know we do have one other question. I'm going to have to get an answer for you. I'm not sure if Kate can help us out, Rita. And we'll just say the question was regarding the invitations. Does Eventsforce automatically exclude sending to people who have already registered? I believe you filter them back, but I want to get you a more accurate answer.
Right. Well, you would click and choose who you would invite. So you're selecting who you're inviting at that point. So you'll see right there, selected template. You can see your event status, right? So you can see event status right there. It says invited and not invited. So you're obviously not going to click into the invited already, right? If we're going to send an invitation, we're going to click all the not invited already, and then send out whatever preferred template you'd like to send them. Chris is also organizing his list by all uninvited. So if you go ahead there, you can do not invited yet. So those are the people that we pulled in recently today from our CRM, and they're ready to be selected on a selected template. So you can see that you can select the template. Maybe these are all our VIPs and you want to select the VIP invitation. He would assign the template. Absolutely, yep. Just event invite is fine. Yep, or whatever. Yep, sponsor, whatever you want. Yep. All right, and we're going to reselect one more time, and then we're going to send. And that's it. So you're assigning, you're inviting. So it isn't an automatic thing, and we did that on purpose for this specific reason.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, next one coming through, I think we can answer that as well, because there is a unique URL for the event. So the question was, can you embed? You can embed to a current site, but can you use a custom URL to redirect to this microsite? So yeah, absolutely. And then if you want to use, something to create a nice vanity URL or something to make it a more attractive link to use in your marketing materials, you can definitely do that.
Sure can.
Very cool. Well, we definitely have some great content available for you on the website, some recent blog posts there. We have additional training materials available, but if you're interested in getting a more detailed demonstration, can definitely reach out to myself or Kate. We'll help you get hooked up there. Reach out to your CX representative. And we will also be posting this webinar, or sending it out, I should say, within the next 48 hours. So you'll be able to share it with your coworkers. And if you have any questions along the way, again, my name is Chris George, cgeorge@simpleviewinc.com. And Kate?
And I am Kate Shack, Director of US Sales for Eventsforce. And you can email me directly at kate.shack@eventsforce.com. I have a tough last name, so make sure you don't forget that second H, okay?
Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Thank you very much, Kate.
Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.